gonna make some Chelsea buns now. So Chelsea buns are a British spiral bun, and they are filled with a mixed spice butter. And mixed spice is a blend of spices that they use a lot for in the UK. Sometimes it's called pudding spice, and it also has currants and golden raisins in it. So make sure you flour your work surface. It's pretty sticky dough. We're trying to make a square, a nice big flat square, as even as possible. As long as you keep moving your dough over the work surface and you make sure there's some flour on it, it shouldn't stick. So try and get it as square as possible. If you have a nice square piece of dough to start with, and the edges are even, then it's easier to make even buns that are all the same size and that have the same amount of filling. Rotate it one more time. Oh, that's a pretty good square. Okay, so the filling for this bun, as I said before, is the mixed spice filling. It's butter and sugar and mixed spice, and we're going to spread that over our dough. And we want to make it cover the whole piece of dough except for about ½ an inch or a centimeter on one side, because that's where we're going to glue it together. So I like to use my dough scraper to spread out the filling. There's a nice big surface area. Make sure you get it all the way to the edges. So you want all the buns to have filling. All right. Okay, now we're gonna put the fruit filling on it. So I put golden raisins, which I chop up a little bit, and Zante currants in there. And we wanna just distribute them pretty evenly over the filling. Make sure you get all the way to the edges again, because otherwise your first and your last bun aren't gonna have any fruit. All right, so now we're going to roll the dough, but before we do that, we want to make a little glue strip at the end. So that little bit of dough that we left bare without any filling, we're going to brush it with a little bit of water. And you can use a pastry brush for that if you want, but it's easy enough just to dip your finger in the water and rub it on. Now we're going to use our pastry scraper, or you can use a knife or another thin object to help you roll up this dough. So we're going to start from the side opposite that sticky strip that we just made, and just gently help it to roll over. And we're going to roll the whole thing up. And it doesn't have to be super tight, but try not to make it too loose. Oh, if it's resting on that, oh, that's where I poked a hole in it earlier. Where it's resting on the sticky edge, that's where it will seal itself. So now we're going to cut our buns. I'll grab my parchment paper here. And we're going to use dental floss for that, because rather than using a knife, dental floss is not going to squeeze all the filling out of your roll, and it's also going to keep that nice round shape. So slide your dental floss under to where you want to cut, cross it, and pull. And you can see this beautiful little spiral. That's what we want. Do that on the other side too. And you can still bake these, they'll still be good. All right, now I'm gonna estimate how to get 12 buns out of this. Your buns will be about 3 centimeters, a little bit more than an inch thick. All right, so again, we take our dental floss, slide it under the roll to where you wanna cut it, across the ends, and then pull. And it will slice cleanly through your roll. Okay, so now we've made 12 buns, and they look very pretty. Again, I'm spreading them out a little bit so they don't grow into each other as they rise. But what we'll do next is let them sit covered in plastic wrap for about ½ an hour so that they can get nice and puffy. And then before we put them in the oven, we'll brush them with some egg wash. And after they come out of the oven, they get brushed with orange marmalade to make it extra British.